Shalom, shalom. I hope you all are doing well. I'm blessed and I'm back again with a quick video. Before we get started, I want to give a disclaimer. This video contains content that may be spiritually or emotionally disturbing to some viewers. We will be discussing the reality of light and darkness, spiritual warfare, and tactics used to keep people in bondage. Viewer discretion is advised. This message is shared in truth and love to expose the works of darkness and awaken those who are called. If you are sensitive to discussions around spiritual deception, grief, or demonic influence, please proceed prayerfully.
This is why you need to cover yourself with the blood of Jesus wherever you go. So look, it says here the lady was walking in the store shopping. This woman, when this man began a psychic ritual on her, this man, he waited for her familiar spirits to give to him. It's all clear. Look at that. You seen that? He shot a fiery dart at her to confuse her. What? What does God give us in Ephesians 6:10-18? The shoes of peace, the gospels of peace. Look. Wow. Lady froze in her post. She immediately felt dizzy. Look, he tried to bind her and knew something was wrong. What? He tried to stalk her through several aisles so she can lower her defense to give him access. Wow. To her spirit. That is crazy, bro. This is real spiritual warfare. They work with voodoo and everything. She got dehydrated, but her sister was with her. Witchcraft. This is definitely witchcraft, bro. This is why we need to put the full armor of God. The child was just a distraction. Ephesians 6 now puts on the full armor of God. There is a war in the unseen realm we can't see. Wow, the lady is okay. God bless her. Like and share this.
Wow, family. This just tells us that we must be aware of our surroundings. There are people who use hand gestures as a part of occult rituals, especially when done discreetly behind a person's back. It could be like a hex or symbolic gestures to cast negative energy onto us. They could be attempting to spiritually tag or bind someone. We must be vigilant and aware of our surroundings. I'm very sensitive when I'm out and about, especially, in stores where crowds are, etc. Because these things that people do, like this man did to her, is symbolic acts done in public spaces as part of dark assignments. This is what you need to understand. People involved in dark practices often do things in plain sight, hoping the average person won't notice or even understand. As children of the Most High, walking in covenant and covered by the blood of Yahushua, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. The enemy may try to watch, follow, intimidate, or even curse, but Yah allows nothing to touch us unless he permits it for his purpose. Even then, it's to strengthen, teach, or expose something, not to destroy. Psalms 34:7 says, "The angel of Yahuwah encamp around about them that fear him and deliver them." That means you'll never be alone, even when you're being watched, whether in a store, at home, or on the road. Yah is watching over you closer than any enemy ever could. The Holy Spirit, or his Ruach, gives discernment. His word is your sword, and his presence is your shield.
The detective continues his investigation by watching the tape and reading the Bible. At the same time, when in the precinct, the detective witnesses what he read about demons moving by touch, from his colleagues to ordinary people, while singing "Time is on my side," and they have no recollection of what just happened when they bump into another person. When the detective talks in Syrian, he catches an elderly couple's attention who are currently possessed, proving that he is facing the demon Azazel, who transfers through touch from one human to another. Azazel threatens him to be careful about what he discovered at the cabin. Later that day, the detective meets the lady outside a sanctuary to talk about his encounter with Azazel. Freaked out, he demands her to answer why the serial killer and Azazel threatened him. She then explains that Azazel is one of the fallen angels and was punished by being deprived of angel form and only able to survive in the bodies of mortal humans. She further explains why the serial killer spoke in an almost forgotten language during their conversation and why he grabbed his hand, because Azazel wanted to possess him. However, Azazel failed to dominate him that time, so he will find some other way. The lady believes that few people are destined to defeat the fallen angels, and the detective is one of them.
Unfortunately, this is real. It's not just Hollywood. Spirits move through touch, presence, conversation, even emotions. Just like in the movie Fallen, a demonic spirit can jump from person to person if you're not spiritually covered. So I try to make it a point to cover myself daily, because you never know who you're going to encounter on a day-to-day basis. This is why you can't let just anyone lay hands on you, be in your space, or connect with your spirit. And notice how this movie, Fallen, with Denzel Washington in it, is specifically about the fallen angel Azazel jumping from person to person. This has been happening since the days of Enoch. They were cast out of heaven and came down with forbidden knowledge, teaching mankind witchcraft, sorcery, weaponry, astrology, and spiritual manipulation. That same dark knowledge is still being used today, just repackaged as spirituality, energy work, or self-discovery. These fallen ones now operate through spirits, unclean, monitoring, seductive, or tormenting spirits. And these spirits look for bodies to influence, control, and destroy. That's why spirit transfer is real. A demon doesn't need to knock on your door. It enters through touch, conversation, sexual sin, music, or even trauma. This is why Yah tells us to stay set apart. You're either filled with the spirit or open to something else.
Are you praying? I need your help. Well, that's a first. I'm in trouble and I can't do this alone. Amazing. I love it. I love it. I love this. I really, he's still big. Now that I'm unworthy, Father, do you honestly think that he will help you after what you just did? You are tainted goods. You're not even worth his effort anymore. Even if he did help you, do you think I will ever leave you alone? Ever? There is nothing that I won't do to you. No temptation, no low that you won't sink to. I know you, Kevin, and you are nothing. Nothing. I am greater than him. I am certainly greater than you.
Many of you may not know this, but when the enemy tries to distract you from prayer and serving Yahuwah, it's a sign that your connection is powerful and dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Distractions, whether through noise, sudden thoughts, fatigue, or even people, are not random. They're strategic spiritual interference, because the enemy knows that, as per James 5:16, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man avail much. Prayer is our weapon, our lifeline, and our place of alignment with Yah. So push through, even when it's hard. The moment you decide to truly pray, heaven listens and hell trembles. That's why the distractions come. But Yah gives you power to overcome every tactic of the enemy. Matthew 26:41 says, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation."
Spiritual warfare is 100% real. I used to think it was bullshit. Nah. Heck no. The second I got right spiritually, I started to see real quick that there's stuff out there trying to drag you. This is people who trying to drain you of your energy. It's people trying to latch on to you. It's spirits trying to latch on to you. That stuff is 100% real. That's why you got to operate at a high frequency. You know? Be in control of your energy. Remain positive, you know? Don't let nobody get up under your skin. Don't be out here arguing with nobody, because that's how they try to get you. When you start to, argue with people, when you start letting them let them getting you riled up. Nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You just stay in your own world, sit back, observe, listen, peep game, and live your life unapologetically. You gotta protect your energy, because when you got aura to you, when you got that light to you, people will do everything in their power to disrupt that. I'm telling you, people understand the value of peace. You know what I'm saying? People understand the value of peace. That's why people go out of their way to ruin your peace. For real. And that could be you thriving, you know. Think about it. You see somebody sitting down at the park, kind of like how I am right now, just chilling. You know, somebody just walk up and just have a conversation with you. A lot of times people don't be having bad intentions, but sometimes people just see you just be at peace, and it just aggravate them. It just aggravate them. Because peace is a hard thing to obtain. So once you get right spiritually and you learn how to operate at a high frequency and you know to, protect your peace, oh yeah, people. Oh, it's going to frustrate a lot of people. And the second you start to give in and the second you open that door for people, they're going to try everything in their power to dim that light. That spiritual warfare is real. Make sure y'all protecting our energy, man. We spirits before anything. For real. People thinking we just this flesh, this body, this mind. Oh yeah, that's a part of it. We spirits too. For the ones that get it, they get it. For the ones that don't, hey, blessings to you.
Yeah, have you ever noticed that when you're at peace, it aggravates people? Especially those who are still at war within themselves. When you walk in the calm and confidence that comes from Yahuwah, that peace that surpasses all understanding, it disrupts the atmosphere around those who are bound by chaos, bitterness, guilt, or unhealed trauma. They probably don't even understand why they feel so irritated around you, but it's not really you they're upset with. It's the spiritual presence, the stillness, the clarity you carry, and what it exposes in them. And since a lot of people don't really understand true spiritual peace, or when they feel convicted by your healing, they say things like, you're just hiding behind Yah, you're avoiding the real issue, you haven't really dealt with it, you're just using religion. But the truth is, they mistake your silence for avoidance and your healing for denial because they haven't experienced that kind of peace that Yah gives you. Philippians 4:7 says, and the peace of Yah, which pass all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Messiah Yahusha.
Just do not have any more space in my life for things that I have to question. I don't have any more space to question people's intentions, to question people's motives. I have now gotten to the place in my life where it is just this simple. How you show up is how you feel. And I'm going to use the language that you show me through your actions to determine exactly what you are, who you are, and how you feel about me.
Listen to me. Choosing peace is going to come with a lot of goodbyes. I'm saying that because people have become obsessed with abnormal. So much so that when things are normal and flowing smoothly, people lose their mind. They can't stand it. They have to have drama. I have to have the arguing. I have to have the fussing and the lack of harmony. But whenever you get to the place to where you get tired of the nonsense and the chaos and you choose peace, and I don't want to be confrontational and I don't want to argue anymore and I don't want to do this anymore. When you choose peace, I want you to go ahead and understand that that's the end of a lot of your relationships because people don't want peace as much as they claim they do. They want drama. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing peace. So don't be upset when they walk away. They love drama. Come on now.
Some people carry the spirit of drama. It's a demonic influence that keeps people entangled in constant arguments and offense, emotional highs and lows, gossip, accusations, and misunderstandings, always being the victim or always starting conflict, creating chaos where there should be peace. It feeds off of attention, control, and emotional reactions. It destroys families, friendships, assemblies, and a peace of mind. Spiritual drama is a manifestation of confusion, strife, division, and emotional manipulation. Spirits that thrive in environments where there is no peace, no order, and no submission to Yahuwah. I talked about this in one of my past videos, how choosing peace sometimes means separation, and that's not a sign of weakness. You're not being cold or mean. It's not bitterness. It's a sign of spiritual maturity. When Yah gives you peace, He also gives you discernment to know when to walk away, when to set boundaries, and when to be still. You realize that not every relationship, conversation, or environment deserves access to your spirit. Separation is a form of protection, and sometimes it's just the only way to preserve your peace.
This need to be understood. I will protect my peace by any means. This does not mean that I will be deflection of a conversation. It just means I'm gonna protect my peace from everyone. Family, spouse, children, child, friends, it doesn't matter. A lot of people put insurance on everything, except for their mental. I'm gonna protect my mental by any means. I'm not gonna let you ruin my day. I'm not gonna let you ruin my life. I'm not gonna let you do any of that. A lot of people get away and think that they can say, oh, I'm protecting my peace to cause deflection. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if there's a conversation going on and it's heated, we separate till we calm down. Then we come back. Then we can conversate. Then we can have some understanding and compromising with the situation so we can hear each other. I'm not going to deflect anything, but I'm damn sure not going to argue with you. I don't argue. I do not argue. Some people love arguing. I don't. I'm not toxic. I don't like the behavior of toxic. I think it's weird that people find being a little toxic is sexy. It doesn't do anything for me. It just shows me you're problematic. I don't like problems. I don't like dealing with people and the problems that they want to bring to me. That's why I say I'm protecting my peace by any means necessary. And I don't care who you are. I'm everyone.
Yes, some people are sent to you to cause problems. You know, they look like friends, family, supporters, love interests, but they're being used, willingly or unknowingly, by the enemy to distract, derail, or destroy your peace because you're walking with the Most High. And we have to be careful because sometimes we'll spend years trying to fix, prove, or please people who were never assigned to our destiny. We must guard our hearts with all diligence. Some people don't even like your peace. They don't like your healing. They don't like your growth. They don't like your obedience to Yahuwah. But that's not our problem. That's not our burden to carry. Their opinions don't override our calling. Their chaos doesn't cancel our purpose. And their rejection is not our reflection. Meaning, just because someone rejects you doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Their rejection says more about them, their wounds, their inability to recognize your value, or their discomfort with your light, not about your worth, identity, or purpose in Yah. When people reject your transformation, that's on them. If they walk away when you choose peace, that's their discomfort with light. If they accuse you of changing or hiding behind Yah, that's their conviction, not our condemnation. Even Yahusha was rejected, not because he lacked value, but because the world couldn't handle who he really was.
These are the signs of a monitoring spirit. A lot of these monitoring spirits, they don't just watch your page. They come to your house. They be your friends. They be your family. They come by to see if you still doing good, if your marriage still good. You still got that car, you still got that house, you still got that job, come by your job and see you. Hey sis, hey bro, hey cuz, I just come by to see how you doing. No, you come by to see if I still got it. Yeah, and when you get blessed, y'all be posting everything on social media. So many folks don't even like it. They don't like your post. Oh, I ain't see that. You seen it. You just didn't like it. You think I'm bragging. Because as soon as you post it, they hate you got it. They hate you blessed with it. If you know, if you got a monitoring spirit watching your page, they can hate you so much, they can drain your energy from a distance. You ever been going live and sitting on your page, and you start yawning? Yeah. They sending arrows at you. They sending bad energy at you. Or they thinking bad thoughts, or they saying some bad things. You got to pray and protect yourself. You hear me? The true word.
Exactly. Some people aren't watching to support you. They're watching to see if you've fallen yet. They don't celebrate your growth, your peace, or your consistency in Yah. These are monitoring spirits. They want to see if you've broken under pressure, you've gone back to your old ways, you've lost the fire, your focus, or your strength. Jeremiah 18:18 says, "They said, 'Come and let us devise devices against him. Let us smite him with the tongue.'" They never clap for your healing, but they're quick to watch for your fall. They won't comment when you speak truth, but they run to gossip if you slip. They pretend not to see you standing, but they're secretly hoping that you fall. What I've noticed is that the more people hate the righteous, the higher the Most High lift us up. You think I don't know that people are watching my videos, but never comment, never like? They're silent followers who never engage, but always know what you post. Individuals who show no love publicly, but use what they see privately. Family or friends who say nothing online, but somehow always know your next move. We're foolish to think that when we're on social media posting that there's not monitoring spirits. Keep your life private on social media. Not everything sacred needs to be seen or heard. Many relationships, families, and even ministries have fallen apart, not because of outside enemies, but because the enemy gained access through overexposure. He watches for jealous hearts in silence, bitter exes, and old friends, monitoring spirits in disguise. The enemy can't destroy what he can't see or hear. He uses what's posted in joy to bring strife and confusion later. People smile while scrolling, but plot in private. Not every like is love, and not every follower is for us. Be vigilant in every area of your life, not just on social media. The enemy doesn't just attack online. He studies your patterns, watches your motions, listens to your conversations, and tests your reactions. 1 Peter 5:8 says to be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. With that being said, be vigilant and cautious about who you allow in your home. Not every guest is harmless. Be vigilant about what you say when you're angry. Words spoken in emotion can be used against you. Be vigilant about where you go and who you spend time with. Not every invitation is divine. Be mindful about how you share your goals. Premature exposure invites spiritual attacks. And also be vigilant about how you respond to offense. Some people are bait, sent to break your peace. This walk is spiritual, not casual. And we're in a time where you need to exercise discernment for survival.
Anything that comes between me and my peace, it has to go. Now, I don't play about my peace. I couldn't seduce it. I couldn't purchase it. I couldn't manipulate it. God had to give that to me and I earned it. So I don't play about my peace. And another thing, I don't allow myself to have a bad day. I can have a bad moment,
I can have a bad minute. I can even have a bad hour, but never a bad day. You know why? Because I got the darn remote control of life to me. I can turn me up, I can turn me down, I can add some color to it. I can do anything I want with this remote control that controls me. And I'm too old and bold not to know me and now. Anything that comes between me and my peace, it has.
Yes, family, once you obtain that peace from the Most High, you have to guard it at all costs. Because when Satan see that, he's coming for you. He's coming for you using any and everybody that he possibly can. I like that remote control analogy that he used because a lot of us don't realize that we have control over who comes in and out of our lives, what type of energy we subject ourselves to, and how long we're going to entertain negative behaviors. Do you all believe in energy transfer spiritually? Now, I'm cautious about who I, allow to touch me nowadays because, I believe in energy transfer. It's the idea that a person can receive or absorb what's on someone else, whether it's peace, heaviness, confusion, lust, joy, or even demonic influence through close interaction, touch, conversation, or presence. And with that being said, we need to pray for covering before and after interactions, anoint ourselves. Don't let everyone touch you or enter your space. Discern the spirit behind the conversation, not just the tone. Break spiritual ties and transferences through prayer. And also test the spirits, whether they are of Yah. Everything carries a spirit, words, music, touch, and presence. So yes, energy transfer is real. Guard your spirit, guard your space, and stay filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. That's our true covering. Not to be paranoid or anything, but you don't want everybody just touching on you. There's a lot of people that always want to touch black people's hair. They always want to give you a handshake or dap you up. You just got to be careful with all this. At one of my jobs, I had to tell somebody that I didn't need to be hugged all the time. And it was a gentleman, and he wanted to hug almost every day. I'm like, nope, I don't need to do that. I don't think my husband would really appreciate another man hugging on his wife every day. It was weird.
Stop letting everybody put their hands on you. Stop letting everybody touch on you. Stop letting everybody lay their hands on you to pray over you. Stop giving people hugs. Be careful because energy transfers. You could be having a great day and you come in contact with somebody and all of a sudden, just by you shaking their hand, being friendly, guess what? That spirit they had on them then transferred on you. Spirits transfer. Be careful. Everybody that lay their hands to pray on you don't mean you good. Everybody that's giving you a handshake don't mean that it's a good handshake. Don't mean that they come with well wishes. Everybody that's giving you a hug don't mean that they mean you well. Stop letting people just put their hands all over you, man. You don't know what kind of spirits come with these folks, man.
Cult practices are a big open door to demons. Let me rattle off a bunch. Horoscopes, fortune telling, tarot cards, voodoo, spirit guides, sorcery, seances, horror movies, necromancy, that's communicating with the dead, which by the way, some of your favorite prophets do that. They talk to dead people. That's a whole nother sermon. Hypnosis, which some of your favorite prophets do. We won't talk about that. Blood oaths, astrology, yoga, psychics, palm reading, Ouija boards, magic 8-ball, levitation, Freemasons, Eastern Star, Rainbow Girls, occult fraternities, sororities, pledges, oaths, vows, all demonic. All demonic. Oh, brother, you're religious. Go cry somewhere else. They're all demonic. These all open the door to demonic spirits.
So in 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." What the world calls spirituality, self-discovery, or ancient wisdom is often a trap wrapped in light, but rooted in darkness. All those practices that this guy mentioned, they open up spiritual doors, giving demons legal access to your life, mind, and home. Ephesians 4:27 says, neither give place to the devil. And then Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Many people unknowingly invite oppression, sleep paralysis, confusion, depression, or torment through these practices, not realizing it's not energy, it's demonic influence.
Caught up here at Chick-fil-A again for my daughters, getting them some food, but I wanted to take this real quick minute to talk about, these demonic people that live around that look just like us. I don't know, and they transfer their demonic spirits into you, and they don't even have to touch you. I don't know if you ever seen the movie called Fallen with Denzel Washington, and if you know anything about Hollywood loves to depict reality, the things that go on in real life, because there's a lot of demonic stuff that go on in Hollywood, so they'll make movies that mimic real life. But anyway, in the movie, the demons were able to transfer back and forth through people just simply by touching people. And it wasn't even simply by touching, it was airborne, just like a virus. It was airborne. So if it left one host, it would go into another person if that person was nearby. And it's the same thing that happens today. Many of us will go into places like bars and, clubs and things like that. And it'll tell you clearly on top of these signs in these clubs, it says drinks and spirits. But we dismiss that as if it's a joke or a game, or we don't even think about it. But a lot of us encounter these spirits and we wonder why we get sick and we get mentally ill and we end up in hospitals. A lot of people right now to this day don't understand why they get sick on a regular basis. If they go around a certain person or go to a certain location, it'll make them sick. Why? If there are certain people you just automatically don't like and you don't know why. It's okay not to like somebody. You can love somebody, but it's okay not to like somebody. Do not dismiss those feelings, because a lot of times when you just don't like somebody, it is somebody that's evil, that's possessed with some kind of evil spirit or something like that. But a lot of these spirits transfer, and I'm gonna give you an example. One time, I was asking, the Most High, God, I was saying, why am I feeling this way? I was feeling so horrible. I was feeling like I was depressed. I was feeling sick, dealing with anxiety, and I had a very bad attitude. A lot of people that deal with spirits in them have very bad attitude. So at this time, I had a very bad attitude, and I was asking him because I was trying to live my life right. And I said, why do I feel this way? Why am I going through this? And he let me know at that time that I had been infected. And I was like, infected? What do you mean infected? And he explained to me in my ruach, my spirit, that it's no different than if I walked into a room and somebody had a cold or somebody had the flu and they cough, right? I can't see that I have become infected when that person begins to cough or sneeze. But days later, I'll start to sneeze and cough, and I'll become sick as well because I became infected by that person that I was around. And that's the same way that spirits infect people. You can be around a person, you can just be in a general area with a person, and you'll start to become sick or not feel well for some weird reason. Something's telling you, well, I don't want to go over this person's house. I don't like being around that person, but you really can't put your finger on it. But we don't realize a lot of times that people actually walk around and they carry demonic, diabolical spirits. And you can tell by the way that the world is, how messed up everything is, how crazy things are now. Good is now considered evil, and evil is now considered good. We live in a whole different type of world now, and you have to really stay prayed up, and you have to really stay focused on walking with Yah, because in this day and age, we're going to need him, because these demons right now, they stepping right out in our face, and they don't care anymore. The things that used to be hidden is now public now. And us who stand up for what is right are the ones who are being criticized and put down. But just be very careful who you're around. Be very careful who you even, allow into your space, because these things transfer. Sometimes just sit back and watch people, and you will be able to pick up the kind of person that you're dealing with real fast by the things they talk about or the things they don't talk about.
So in closing, I just want to say that the spiritual realm is more real than what we see. Spirits don't just hover, they look for access. Fallen angels taught mankind how to open doors, and demons still use those same methods today. Through people, touch, conversation, false peace, even social media, they study you, follow you, and they try to transfer their torment into your life. That's why some folks aren't just drama-filled. they are carrying something within them. That's why your peace bothers them. They're not irritated with you. They're irritated by the presence of Yah in you. You must guard your peace, your mind, your atmosphere. Because some weren't sent to love you. They were sent to observe, distract, or even destroy. 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Be sober and be vigilant." Psalms 105:15 says, "Touch not mine anointed." So move in silence, discern every spirit, and don't let the enemy transfer his chaos into your spirit. You've come too far. Let them watch, but don't let them in. Thank you all for listening. May the Most High Baruch you and keep you safe in this hour. Remember Matthew 24:13, "He that endures until the end, the same shall be saved." And until my next video, Shalom.